Hey guys, LootWizard here with another video on Gems of War, and so we're going to go over the Soulforge like usual and check out the weapons, troops, and then we'll head over to the event that's going on this week and take a look at that. For weapons, there isn't really much in here. We do have Razor Claw and Axe of the North. These are two mana generating weapons for the Urskaya Kingdom or allies. And these aren't like a must-have weapons, but if you do have them, like this one does create brown gems, and I think if my memory is correct, that there are guardian troops for that kingdom, or that troop type that uses brown gems. Axe of the North also creates brown gems, and it's for Urska allies. So you have to check to see what those guardians are, but one of these weapons would work probably with those guardian troops. And those guardian troops are really powerful. But of course you can always use Mountain Crusher. So if you don't have the diamonds to waste on these 300 diamonds there to craft one of those, then I would skip it. For troops, let's take a look at the summoning stones really quick. Tulieo is in here. I'm gonna give this one a recommendation. If you do have the summoning stones to spare, try to get this troop right here because it is a really great mana generator. You can choose a color and it'll enchant all allies of that color. It gives 6 mana to them, boosted by gems of that color. It's really good. I recommend that one. Taking a look here. Purple. Scrymere the Lofty is pretty good for some types of events, just because it will move your whatever troop you select, including your hero, to the top of the team. And that's useful when you're using Mang, because Mang as a weapon is all about the skull damage. So using Scrymere with Mang is always going to pretty much guarantee that you can move your Mang back to the top of the team in order to do that damage. So if you don't have him yet, you might want to try grabbing him. For brown, unless you're trying to collect goblin troops, the Noban Brothers here is in the brown summoning stones. So if you want to get him, you could try, but the other two troops I mentioned before that are the better ones to get. Now, moving on to Legendaries and Mythics. For Legendaries, there's nothing really that good here. You got Shadow Dragon, you have Saguaro, you have Nimue, and Lust. Nimue is probably the strongest of those Legendaries. And usually there's a fourth. Is that 4 of them? Shadow Dragon, Saguaro, yeah, it's 4. I don't know what I'm thinking here. It's because they used to put the legendaries like at the top and then the mythics underneath it, and they didn't mix them up. Now it's like it's all this weird random order. So for mythics, we have Obsidius, we have King Bloodwood, we have Mistralus, and is it only 3? No, we have Queen Aurora. So there is that's the 4 mythic troops here. Queen Aurora is a decent support troop, but I don't use it hardly ever because there's better options in my opinion. But so this is going to be a hard one to pick because Mistralus is a really great mythic troop. And Obsidius is also really great. So I don't remember in my tier list where I put these two. I probably put Obsidius higher. Obsidius has a lot of good things going for it because it deals heavy splash damage, destroys a 5x5 block of gems, which means you're going to generate mana. And then there's a 50% chance to do light splash damage. It also reduces damage from skulls by 50%, and then it will stun all enemies on a 4 or 5 gem match, which is the reason why I use it a lot, is for just the stun. But it also does do a decent amount of damage and mana generation. So Obsidius is great. But Mistralus is also really great. You can throw Mistralus in almost any team, and it'll make that team better in some way, as long as you have it fully traded because of this last trait here, Enchanted Wind. Enchant all allies on a 4 or 5 gem match. It also does do splash damage. Now, it's 1 to 4 random enemies, so sometimes it'll only hit once. Sometimes it's up to 4 times. then it jumbles. There's a guarantee that it will jumble the board and you will gain an extra turn. Now, when it jumbles the board, the gems get reorganized, and so there's a chance to gain even more turns if you have 4 or 5 gem matches that line up with that jumbling of the board. So Mistralus, with the enchanting and doing extra turns and splash damage, jumbling the board, there's a lot of great things going on with this. It is an elemental as well, so that's you can use the Mirage Queen. And Obsidius is also an elemental, so the Mirage Queen is good combination with that too, because that will allow them to start with 50% mana. I'm going to say it's a tie between Mistralus and Obsidius this week, because both of them are really good. I like both of them, and I do use both of them a lot. King Bloodwood is, the damage is really kind of not as great as I had hoped when it first got released. So I would say skip King Bloodwood unless you're trying to collect mythics, and I would skip Queen Aurora. How I would rank them is this week I'm going to do a tie between Mistralus and Obsidius, and then King Bloodwood is next, and then in last place is Queen Aurora. So that's the order in which I would put them. So now moving on, I think the 10 weeks of the campaign is up. Actually, I don't know. I really have not. I have not done anything with the campaign in probably 3 to 4 weeks, because I just got so busy with life stuff and having a real hard time the last month with a lot of stuff going on, and I just didn't have the motivation to go through the chore list of the campaign tasks and all that. So actually I should go in here, and I don't know, I'm not as informed as probably Cinecool or Tacit on everything that's going on here with this mythic troop, because this, I don't know if it was the enraged Karandra or if it was just a regular Karandra that you could get in the campaign. But anyway, this one here is available to craft. The issue with this is that you do need the 8 power orbs, and I've been trying to save up my 8 orbs just to craft Zul'Goth, and now they threw in this other guy here. But you do need some kind of item as well to craft this thing, and I don't know really what that item is, where you get that from. Looks like it's some kind of weapon that you need to craft or something. You probably, so this might have been that mythic troop that you could get for the $10 and completing all the tasks, and I just didn't do it. I didn't have the motivation and the time really to do it, those campaign tasks. I'm having a hard time even being having enough time to come in and do all of my guild requirements, and I'm feeling bad about that. So, but real life's really really kicking me down the last month or two here. So anyway, enough about that. Let's check out here what's going on. We have the Stealing Gate is the world event going on this week, and that's going on the same time that Guild Wars is going on. So I'm just going to skip Guild Wars because everybody at this point at my channel pretty much knows what Guild Wars is about. And a lot of people kind of skip Guild Wars, honestly, in a lot of guilds from what I've heard, just because it's not really a favored event for people. So I'm just going to cover the Stealing Gate here. Actually, let's back up, and I forgot to go to the shop here and see what the new troop was. So we have a new troop called Prince Barislav, and 400 glory, you get 2 arcane blade trade stones, so that's a really good deal. Check out what he does. He deals 38 damage to an enemy. If I am enraged, deal double damage. Then if the enemy is a demon, become enraged. Starts battles with 50% mana. I mean, it might be useful in a full Urska team for these events. We'll have to see once we get to the screen where we're actually building a team. So I want to pick up my Spoils of War before I forget to. Yeah, I'm slowly building my event keys back up. For those of you that remember months and months ago when I tried to get Wolfgarrick, that one mythic, I had 1,400 event keys, and I spent all of them and I didn't get it. It was... honestly really depressing, and like that. I have so much bad luck opening keys. Anyway, let's go and check out the event now, the Sealing Gate. And we need to go here to the shop and buy some tokens so we can get badges and a medal. I'm going to buy enough to get a medal. Some of you might not have enough gems to afford buying that many tiers, so you might want to start out with a badge. But I'm going to go for a medal right away. And we'll see what this is. I think it's probably spell damage, or it could be spell and skull. I got to go equip this thing, though. Yeah, it's 160% skull and spell damage to all, for all troops. So we can do a team for skulls or spells. So that is a good thing. I like the option of having that. So, troop restrictions, in previous events, it was like a color. In this one, it is the Kingdom of Urskaya. So, whatever troops are available for this kingdom, we can use those troops. And like I said, I think the Guardians are a part of this kingdom. If I'm not, I could be mistaken. No, that's right. Guardians don't have a kingdom. They have like their own category. That's unfortunate. But I do have Doomclaw, which I don't know how useful that's really going to be in this event. Beastmaster would actually be a really good... sorry, I got an itch on my nose. A Beastmaster would be a really good troop. There's one thing I don't like about it, and that is whenever you cast it, there's a 25% chance that it'll transform into a different troop, which means that you know you might only be able to use its ability once or twice before it transforms. But it will convert blue gems to red and brown gems to skulls. So this is a skull conversion type of troop. But I don't see really any other major skull troops in this kingdom here. So we're kind of... This is the legendary troop that's going to make things start with 50% mana, so I would do that. King Mikhail is a good spell troop because it's going to deal damage to all enemies. 9 more if it's enraged. It gets enraged when you match brown gems. So I would do something like that. And then we got this guy here that we just got in the shop, but I prefer something that's... Baba Yaga might be useful because it deals damage to the last 2 enemies and then it silences them. So that might be useful. Let's just throw that in there. This thing here is support troop. I don't think there's really anything here that generates a lot of mana for us. So let's see what weapons we have, because it's restricting our weapons to this kingdom. So, like I was saying, the Axe of the North, Razor Claw, these 2 troops here are weapons that are available in the Forge, and you might want to pick one up for this event. You know, otherwise you got this down here, but that creates red gems. I don't know if we can really, if we have really any good troops that use that color. Otherwise, you could use the Shield of Urskaya, but it's purely a support weapon. At least, even though this is generating mana, it's still generating some kind of, it's still doing some damage. So I can pick between Razor Claw and this one here. Urska, and this is not Urska. So I guess Baba Yaga is going to be out if I choose this weapon here. Create a mix of green and brown, and this is green and brown too. So I think I'm going to do this, and then let's go back to troops and see what troop do we have that we can use here that is Urska, because that's my weapon. We could throw in Doomclaw. Does have chances to devour. But if you don't have Doomclaw, then you're stuck trying to use one of these other troops in here. Yeah, not much to really choose from, honestly. But for class, I'm going to go with the Sentinel because that is an Urska class. Let me check my talents to make sure I got it all. Yep, Fortitude. In the class info, you'll see here it's an Urska. And for banner, I do... yeah, maybe we can just keep it on blue and brown because that way I can get some for that. And then it's going to generate some brown. Okay, and yeah, I guess we'll just go with this. A Sentinel class and this weapon here called the Axe of the North. King Mikhail Urskula and then Doomclaw. It's a very legendary, mythic, intense battle team setup, but you know, there isn't much to really choose from. And the battles are going to be super easy this early on, especially since I have 160% spell damage. So, yeah, that's, I think this is the team I'm going to go with, probably as far as I can go. And it should work pretty good. There isn't, like I said, there isn't much to choose from in this kingdom, so, you know, you just have to focus in. I mean, it is nice that it's like skull and spell damage, but the only troop that I saw that does skull damage or create skulls or transform into skulls is the that Beastmaster troop, which you can get from the underworld if you have enough portal shards, but it has that transforming thing, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, that's the event. And that's the team I'm going to go with this week. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week for my Soulforge video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I appreciate all the votes and views and all that stuff, especially since I haven't been uploading that much recently. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Later.